A man gets shipwrecked on a small island. After a few days wandering, he comes across a tribe of natives who have just lost their chieftain. The tribe's high priest tells the man that as he is the first outsider they have seen in 20 years, he must take 3 tests. If he passes all 3 tests, the tribe will accept him as their new chief. "Fair enough," says the man. "Just let me know what the tests are and I'll get right on them." The priest takes him to a clearing with 3 straw huts in it, turns to the man, and explains the tests. "In the first hut, you'll find 20 gallons of our native beer. You must drink all of this to complete this test. In the second hut is a gorilla with a sore tooth. You must pull his tooth and survive to pass this test. In the third hut is the ex-chieftain's daughter. You must make love to her until she can take no more." The man agrees and begins the first test. 3 hours later, he walks out of the hut unsteadily and goes toward the second hut. The priest asks if he would like to have a rest, but the man says he wants to get all the tests done before he sleeps and enters the second hut. After 2 hours, he comes out covered from head to toe in blood and scratches and turns to the priest. "Now lead me to the girl with the sore tooth." An Englishman, Irishman, Welshman, Scotsman were captured while fighting in a far-off foreign land, and the leader of the captors said, "We're going to line you up in front of a firing squad and shoot you all in turn. But first, you each can make a final wish." The Englishman responds, "I'd like to hear God Save the Queen just one more time to remind me of the old country, played by the London All-Boys Choir, with Morris dancers dancing to the tune." The Irishman replies, "I'd like to hear Danny Boy just one more time to remind me of the old country, sung in the style of Daniel O'Donnell, with Riverdance dancers skipping gaily to the tune." The Welshman answers, "I'd like to hear Men of Harlech just one more time to remind me of the country, sung as if by the Treorchy male voice choir." The Scotsman says quickly, "I'd like to be shot first." Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson went camping in the country. In the middle of the night, Holmes nudged Watson awake and said, "Watson, what thought comes to you as you look up at the night sky?" Watson said, "Well, Holmes, I see the thousands of stars that cover the heavens and bear witness to the magnificence of God's creation. And I realize how small and insignificant we are, and yet the fact that God is still mindful of us fills me with wonder. What thought comes to you?" And Holmes replied, "That someone has stolen our tent." 3 guys were sitting in the pub and discussing their sons. The first says, "My son was born on St. George's Day, so we just had to call him George." The second says, "My son was born on St. Andrew's Day, and that's why he's called Andrew." The third says, "That's an amazing coincidence. Exactly the same thing happened with my boy Pancake."